Is the 9-game SEC schedule a power move, or did Greg Sankey and the league blink? Well, the college football playoff inches towards structural changes. The SEC has officially committed to a 9-game conference schedule starting in 2026. And tonight we're going to ask the questions that nobody seems to be talking about. Did the most powerful conference in college football just make life harder on itself? Is this strength of schedule dominance or self-inflicted cannibalism? And when the CFP format shifts again, will this look brilliant or reckless? Let's heat up the SEC Gauntlet. Good evening, and welcome back to the SEC Gauntlet. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, along with my co-host, Big Cuz Marcus Dent from the Gridiron Insight and Ole Miss 365. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of the SEC Gauntlet. Big Cuz, welcome back to the show, sir.
Man, we have an exciting topic that I think some people are going to disagree with, but it definitely needs to be talked about.
I agree. I think it was reckless. I think it was a little. There's a couple of things that I feel like, but it feels like we're placating to a conference that isn't as good. If you're looking at the SEC, I feel like the SEC is placating to a conference that isn't as good, certainly from top to bottom. At the top, I think they're just as good. I don't think there's any doubt about that at this point. But in the end, I don't really know why Greg Sankey and the league agreed to do this. We'll just kind of jump into this a little bit as we get going. We've got 9 people in here so far, so we can kind of crank it up. But 47 straight, welcome into the show, sir. Happy Sunday to you as well. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys coming in here. Make sure you share the link and get in here and talk about it with us, what you think about the 9-game SEC schedule starting in 2026. They did it before they were sure they were going to go to a 16-team playoff. And it feels like you're adding, it's almost like you're just guaranteeing yourself.
You're adding pressure.
And added pressure, but you're adding an extra loss for every team or for at least half of the league at the end of the season. So, where it was 8 before and you were already playing another Power 4 program in the non-conference schedule, that's the way it's been set up for a long time in the SEC. But I'll just ask you, did they think they're flexing their muscle, or did the conference just make life harder on itself for no reason?
Well, I think they jumped the gun before knowing whether they was going to expand the playoffs. If you expand the playoffs, then the SEC is looking at, okay, well, strength of schedule, now we're good if you expand. But now it hasn't. So it's the same. So you take some of these 10-win teams from last year, might be 9-win teams this year. You will not get as many teams in the playoffs you got last year going to this 9-game mandate. Won't happen.
I think it's going to be hard to do it. And Hammer, thank you for your answer there. It's a bad move by Sankey, he says. To me, it feels like, I guess, Sankey probably felt like he did this from a position of strength at the time. And let me tell you why. Because obviously we go back to, for 2 years they wouldn't agree to it, right? Mm-hmm. And they wanted more money from ESPN to add it. They wanted to, it's another $10 million a program. Okay?
A lot of money.
It is a lot of money, but but it also, but they were waiting to see if they were going to actually make that strength of schedule uh, analytic mean more, and then they actually added another part of strength of schedule. It's strength of record. I don't really know what that means, but
Well,
it
and you
and
still have that one game that you got to play another P4
correct.
conference.
I
So
know. So it was already the same. That's the whole thing, and if that's the whole thing is you are already playing the same amount of Power Four teams in the conference, or in your season, as the conferences that have 9 games already.
right, correct.
So and again, top to bottom, the SEC is not second to anybody. We know that. I think that what my concern is, you already knew you had the strongest strength of schedule, but he came at it thinking it was a position of strength. But I'm not sure why you
Nah.
would add more internal losses to the equation whenever a lot of times you still feel like you're in a situation where they're still going by wins and losses.
Well, Jason,
Although you did have 5 teams in this year, but I think if you add a loss number 3, then I think that number is going to be tougher for people to stomach.
think about how many teams, if you add that one game, how many teams would have been 9-3 last year? A bunch. I think.
Yeah,
I think at least
yeah.
two.
Because who do
I
you
think.
add? I
I,
mean,
I think Oklahoma could have been a 9-3 team. I think Alabama could have been a 9-3 team. Those two for sure on the bubble.
I think it would depend. I think it would depend on who they played in that ninth game.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So you have some schools. Kirby Smart talked. He talked about this. It might have been last year. You know how they got the 3 teams they got to play. They still all this stuff in the next 2 years. They still will not have played in College Station. I don't think they didn't play in College Station. I don't. It's been what 10 years or more. I
Yeah,
think
I
since
think they played since they had joined. They'd played them one time. It was in Athens since they had joined the conference, and it was
right,
the first season, and then never after that
right.
until this year. Right.
So not only do you adding this other game, you're not getting these teams are not equal. If you ask me, when it comes to you, you're hurting some of the rivalries. I want to preserve the rivalries, bro.
I agree.
I want to preserve the rivalries, and we don't know behind closed doors when it came down to ESPN. It's always going to come down to the dollar. And I think right now, I think he made a dollar decision than he did what's best for the teams in the SEC.
Yeah,
Because
and I
that's
think
what it's looking like. Because you don't make this move to 9 wins unless you know you're going from 12 to 16 teams.
well, except for look, it worked out as much as people want to say it didn't work out for him. It did work out for him this season because of the fact that they did go to that they added that metric to where it meant more, and it meant more right away, and that put 5 teams in. But that 5 teams in they were all at 10-2, and plus their strength of schedule. So it makes you wonder: is the strength of schedule, strength of record, whatever, is that going to mean as much? Like what 47 straight saying here? It's going to get interesting to see 3-loss SEC teams being compared to 2-loss ACC Big 12 teams with a
Correct.
weaker strength of
Exactly.
schedule, and even 2-loss Big 10 teams with a weaker strength of schedule and strength of record.
And look, so you take Indiana, you take
It is
Cincinnati.
putting a lot of trust in that committee, and
Yeah,
I don't know that you
you
can
don't want to
trust
put
the committee.
you don't want to put that kind of. Look at Indiana. Look at their schedule outside of the Big Ten. Cupcakes, really. You ask me. What's up, my guy, Jimmy? But all cupcakes, and he said it. He is not finna go out and play a bunch of teams like that. Alabama and I think it's Ohio State. Is
Well, I
that
would
is
say
that
this.
is that still on? Because
No,
Alabama
so
trying to
no,
get out of it.
it's actually I have the Big Ten's record. The Big Ten schedule is not as cupcakey as it was a year ago. Not for the top teams. So you've got in fact I can go through presumed top 25 when we were looking at the presumed top 25 rankings, where you got your way too early rankings that On3 did a composite of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did a composite that was kind of all of them together. Of the teams that made the top 25, Ohio State's playing 6 of them, including one of them being Texas. So one of them's a non-con. I think Michigan was at 6 as well, or 5. I think it was 5, maybe. No, it was 6. It was 6.
I've been 6.
Yeah, so it's 6, and then you had I think even Indiana had 4. You had Penn State had 3. I think they had the easiest one, but Michigan, Penn State, I want to say Washington had 4. Oregon had 4 or 5, maybe 5, but I think it's 4. And then USC had 5 of them. And that's even including now, obviously, that they got rid of that Notre Dame game, so that's surprising. There's a reason why.
What did Alabama get out of
Lincoln
the?
wanted the hell out of that thing. There's a
Yeah,
reason why
did
Lincoln wanted the hell
Alabama
out of
get
it.
out of the Ohio State game?
There's not an Ohio State Alabama game. It's them. It's Ohio State plays Texas on the road in the second week.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I was thinking.
Obviously,
that was a year
Oklahoma
ago.
going on the road.
It never did come to pass. Yeah, I got you.
No.
Yeah. So, but you think about the game with Texas and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Texas does not play that. Let's just say Texas does not play that game, and they play.
Well, they are playing it.
I said, just say they didn't play the game.
Okay.
And they schedule a G5 team, and they win that ball game. Then they're what, 10-2? What was their record? They were 9-3 last year.
Yeah, they were 9-3 last year. But had they not? But see, now let's not do that. Let's not do that.
But I'm just But what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. You're already playing a tough schedule.
So what you're talking about was 47 straight says rumor is they are going to cancel that, but it starts in 2027, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew that game was coming. But
why are they going to cancel that? Why?
Well, if you're the head coach at Alabama, would you want to play that game and you on the bubble like you are?
Here's what I would tell you. Here's what I would say to this. Now, I would tend to agree that if this is what we're going to do, because here's what's going to happen. Now, they go to 9 games and it drops down to 3. You only get 3 in, and you leave off a couple of teams that probably should make it in over a Big 12 team or an ACC team, especially that has 2 losses or whatever, and they end up going in over those SEC teams. You can bet your ass they're going to get rid of those non-conference games. That's no longer going to be a requirement.
Right.
But they're waiting. Right now, they've taken a wait and see approach when it comes to that.
But Jason, think about this: 2027, which is next year. Alabama supposed to play Ohio State. They're trying to get out of that right now.
Well, I think that Kalen DeBoer's already in trouble. He can't afford to. I mean, looking ahead, he's.
You see what I'm saying?
I would tell you that, and this is why we're asking the question, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand it. Is it really about competition, or is this TV inventory?
TV inventory.
That's what I think too. I think it's ESPN leverage. I think that I think the SEC believes the CFB is going to reward that strength of schedule so heavily that they may think that it's an advantage, but I don't know that you could trust that. Not whenever you hear and you watch this committee doing what it does. To me, I think that 2 things are going to happen with this. And this is my belief is, number one, they've already been talking about this anyway. That conference championship game is gone. Because
I hope it is.
Watch what's going to happen. Listen, that doesn't mean they're not.
You don't need it.
You have to. Jason, if you're the SEC, you have to take it out of a committee's hands that's going to listen to bullshit coming from other conferences.
Yeah,
screaming fans and all that.
You got money and you got just a competitive risk. Which one?
Damn it, canceling right and left. Trojan fight. I knew that was coming.
But let me ask you this right here. So, when it comes down to the money part, let's not forget the money part, guys, because what are these? What behind closed doors? They telling us one thing and then they're saying something else. Say, hey, look, guys, we really need the money. If we're gonna make our rosters, we need the money. And they might not tell that to the public, but if it's an extra few $1,000,000, they need it for roster. They need it for everything else. You got TV advertising. That one extra game, now it's great for the fans. This is a win-win for the fans to play another SEC game. Yes, sir. And the ESPN is going to make more money. The school is going to make more money. But what about the kids? What about the safety of the kids? You already got a brutal schedule, bro. So what about the safety of the kids? Or, playing another SEC game where you can go play Rutgers or somebody.
Right. Here's your 2026 Big Ten football schedule, and we'll put that up there for now, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll come back in. But you're still, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Here's the thing. That's the concern that I have, because if you look at, let's say we could talk Oklahoma, but let's talk about these first. See, they're still getting there. What happens is you only end up with one bye week.
That's it.
Right? You end up with one bye week. So,
that's not enough, man.
Depending on when your bye week comes, then it's gonna look. I know that Oklahoma's first one, their bye is before Texas, which is, so it'd be between week 4 and 5, and then they have to go play. They play 4 games, and then they've got 8 straight weeks after that.
That's brutal.
And and coming down the stretch, it does get brutal. But if you look at listen, I'll be honest with you, USC's got a tough stretch coming down the stretch too. They're going to go Penn State bye week, but they get 2 byes still for whatever reason.
No, I'm looking at that.
Why is that, Trojan Fight? What's going on there?
Penn State, I don't see but one. Week 8.
So they're showing that they're going to have a 2BA game. I guess whatever that is, they haven't picked their FCS opponent yet, I guess. For all that bullshit they like to talk.
I see it. Yeah. Week 10.
They've got another one, so that means they have to play. So, see, I'm not sure why they did that, other than they want that other bye week, because coming down the stretch, you've got Indiana, UCLA, and they want a bye week between Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah, I would want a bye week right there. I definitely would want one. Week 7, you plug a game. Week 7, you plug a FCS.
Well, you notice that they're missing the Notre Dame game, but they're not playing Notre Dame, so they haven't replaced it. Now Notre Dame immediately replaced it with BYU, but they didn't. They're supposed to be playing week 0, but that's
Yeah.
I see it. But who's in the week 0 game there, Trojan Fight? Who's that going to be?
Man, it's not going to be a P14.
Oh no, of course it isn't.
Then you got Fresno State, Louisiana Monroe.
Look at Lincoln getting to make his schedule way late in the game. What a deal!
Oh,
what a deal!
Poor Lincoln.
Notre Dame opening up in a Big Ten stadium, or no, they're playing the neutral site against Wisconsin. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. That's crazy.
This is Mormon religious game. Yeah, that's going to be
I got the rest of Mormon. Oh
yeah,
man.
The BYU game. That's a good game for them to have. But I mean,
dude, they
honestly,
better not.
It hurts Notre Dame to not have that game.
It does, but Notre Dame, they have it. If they're ranked number 12, they in. So they do have a little bit of a cushion, Jason.
Yeah.
They didn't have that cushion last year, which I think the committee got it right. Putting Miami in over them head to head should always matter.
Yeah.
Should always
Maybe the better route for SEC teams is to try to get a week 0 game on the schedule moving forward to ensure 2 bye weeks deep in the season. Look, they're going to have to do something. But I would tell you this. Now, we talked about this a few minutes ago. Hold on real quick. We did talk about this a few minutes ago, saying that you already have that Power Four requirement. Now, it's easy to say that requirement's going to go. I mean, I said it probably goes by the wayside, but here's the deal: some of those programs can't go by the wayside with that because that program that look at Florida, they play Florida State every year. That's their last game every year.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Clemson, in South Carolina. They play every year at the end of the season. That has to happen. That's a non-conference game. That's going to continue.
But well, Jason, how much of this, the 9 games, you think was influenced by media and money? How much is it, a small portion, or you think that's the whole motor that's running the show? I think it's a lot of it.
What do you mean? Wait, ask me the question again. I'm sorry.
How much of this that going to the 9 game? How much do you think is this ESPN? How
Oh,
much you think? How much you think of all
I
this
think
is
it has a lot
them
to do
putting
with
pressure on the SEC?
Sure, because ESPN. Look, here's the deal. They know. I think that ESPN is doing its best to have as much content on that people want to watch. And here's the deal: a lot of
Make more
SEC
money.
a lot of SEC fans only watch SEC football. They only care about it. You know that. I know that. I'll even tell you, like I've heard SEC Mike, and he's one of the most popular SEC creators out there on that SEC podcast, and he says he's not going to even he doesn't even care about the Ohio State Texas game. Doesn't care. He said he would rather be watching two SEC teams play, which I think that's a little crazy, but because I mean, look, I watch
Yeah, I do
every
too.
football game, no matter what conference it is. I just don't care. I watch it all, right?
Yeah, me too.
Um,
It doesn't matter to me.
They
I
they
like
didn't
football.
lie though. They didn't lie, T and Longhorn. They did weigh strength of schedule heavily. They did because you got 5 teams in. Now they didn't weigh it heavily enough for a 3-loss team to get in over 1-loss teams or 2-loss teams from other conferences. I would agree with that.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think that obviously to me the loss to Florida killed you. The loss to
Yeah.
Florida killed you. The Ohio State loss didn't. The loss to Florida did.
Yeah, losing to a
And 3
team that
losses, that's the whole point. The 3 losses is going to get I think that that's what you're going to see and guess what? It's almost impossible that you're going I would say it's going to be almost impossible for you to see 5 SEC teams at 10-2 or better.
won't happen.
I
Not
just
with
don't
nine
think you
games.
can do that. Not with 9 games.
Man, you take a Mississippi State, a, a Mississippi State team that went what 5-7 regular season last
And
year. You you
this is a fair statement of the Trojan fight saying a lot of it was pressure from the Big 10, but that's where they should have told the Big 10 to kick rocks. And you notice that they didn't do it though, Trojan fight, until they weighed the metrics differently. They had to agree to that for them to agree to it. So
I
there
I
wasn't
don't
nothing to
think
talk about.
I
There
don't
was
think the
something to
Big
talk
Ten
about.
put that much pressure on, bro. I don't think. And the reason why I say that, if you go from 16-1, the SEC is way better than the Big Ten, and they know that
Top to bottom it is, yeah.
top to bottom. So
Sure.
I think it was more money than it was the Big Ten. The hell
Mhm.
with the Big Ten. You know, yeah, you take when Michigan won it. Go look at Michigan's schedule. It was
Listen, here's
favorable.
the other thing. There's no way they're going to allow these rivalries to go by the wayside.
Too much money.
Unlike some of these other conferences, bro, that's what one thing that the SEC does stand on. They're not getting rid of them.
Mm-mm.
They're not going to what? You think they're going to let the Iron Bowl go away? No, they're
No,
not.
not gonna happen.
You think they're going to let look, if and that one would never go away. But guess what? They also don't want their game with Tennessee to go away. That's the third Saturday in September or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's
They
not
don't want
going
that
nowhere.
shit to go away either, and they also don't want I mean, they like this LSU game that's been going on for a long time. They don't want it going away. That's become a big rivalry game. But it is a stupid. To me, I think that you would have been better off to stay in divisions and make sure that they play them anyway. I mean, and I'm good with that to make and then try to move the schedule around as best you can.
But let me ask you this, Jason: Do you need a SEC championship with this 9-game
I
schedule?
don't think you do. No, I don't. I don't think so.
I don't
I
think you
don't
do
think you
either.
needed it with 8. I don't think you needed it with 8.
I don't. I mean, put some tiebreakers in there, man, and give those kids a break that week. Because
Well, and
the
there's
first
something to
thing,
be said for this. The last 3 national champions all played 3 cupcakes in their non-con. They didn't get tested.
yep,
I
that's
mean,
what
there's
I was
something to
saying.
be said for that.
Yep, I think there's something that if I'm a AD or general manager or head football coach, man, I'm trying to find the best way to get to the end of the playoffs. I don't care about hook or by crook. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get in, bro. And
Yeah.
so
Well, and I mean, we talked about it that the only thing that really matters, particularly in the eyes of the SEC, is to win the national championship or to play in the playoffs. Nobody cares about bowl games. You can talk about bowl games all you want to. Nobody cares.
mm,
And the only time that people
they
talk
don't
about bowl games is when the SEC loses them.
exactly. Exactly. That's the only time anybody cares about a bowl game. Well,
Right.
the SEC they went 2 and so, and man, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, in SoCal, correct me if I'm wrong, never heard BB complain about OU opponents. Well, what good does it do? It doesn't do any good.
No, you're not.
You don't
It
play them
doesn't.
anyway. You can either complain and bitch and cry about it and still have to do it. You still got to do it.
You got to go. You got to
You
happen.
still got
It's
to
got
play
to
them.
happen.
And guess what? Look, I will say this: if you get to 10-2 with 9 games in this conference, they can't keep you out.
No,
Now, if you
no,
get to nine and
nobody
three,
would
if
think
you get to 9-3, you're playing with fire. And I think that the same is true for the Big Ten. And I will say, I
that.
just showed it to you. The Big Ten's playing more. They're not protecting them. They're not protecting their big brands as much as they have been. They're not. Now they're definitely getting a lot of them did get rid of their non-con teams that are worth a shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, again, we know that they're playing Western Kentucky, whoever that Buffalo Head is, and
Yeah.
North Texas.
I mean, he said it, but he said it though, Jason.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care. He
He
doesn't
doesn't
care.
care. He said it. He's not finna go out and play a bunch of P4 teams. He. In other words, he's resting his soldiers
I
for the
mean, their
real
best
fight.
games, they do have Ohio State and Michigan back to back, but then they got Minnesota. Then they got a bye week before they play Southern Cal. And that's if you think that Southern Cal is going to be really good. I think they're going to be really good at quarterback. I don't know what they are the rest of the way. I don't
They're,
know.
they're gonna be what Lincoln is.
Well, they did bring Gary Patterson on to be the DC. So if Gary can get their defense moving
But
and look,
this is his third DC since he's been there, right?
mhm, sure.
Come on,
Well,
man.
Denton Lynn was good though. He just took the Penn State gig.
Yeah, but I'm
Or
just
was it Penn
saying though.
State? Was it Penn State that he went
I
to?
don't know where he went, but I'm just saying he's on his third DC, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's on his third DC, and
Nothing will instill confidence in your team like whining about the schedule. Yeah, exactly. No shit. I'm just saying it. I think that what I really think is, and Boganowski's been saying this for the last few weeks that he's brought it up. He has brought it up a few times. Is like I think they got duped by the Big Ten. They kept talking that smack, and the Big 12 was doing it too. But the
oh,
ACC
they
is
don't
still
have
at an 8 game
they don't
schedule. The
have
ACC is still at an 8 game schedule.
a dog in the fight. The Big 12 does not.
Well, they play 9 games.
They play 9 games, but look at the teams that are in that conference. Come
Yeah.
on, man. We're not. let's not even go there with them. To be
Yeah,
honest with you, I mean, and outside of Miami, the ACC, yeah, Miami really helped you out a lot. To be honest with you, helped you
yeah.
out a lot because you were just about to become
That was
Mr.
so
Irrelevant.
stupid. That was well, and here's the other thing. They are definitely making adjustments to I mean, they made sure that now it's not the top 5 ranked. It's going to be you're still going to get a G5 team in, but no matter who wins the Power 4 championship game, they're getting in. So this year if Duke had 5 losses and won the ACC again, they'd be in the CFP at 5 losses. Now, that goes and happens again, and that's definitely going to hurt somebody. It's going to hurt a 2 or 3 loss team, even a 2 loss team
And the
because
SEC or the Big Ten.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. So it doesn't.
You get those 3 losses and the thing is look, I'll just be honest with you. You know, if you look at I mean, cuz like Iowa, I think Iowa's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good, but they're pretty good. They were 4th last year, but look at what they got to I mean, their schedule they got to go Michigan back to back with Ohio State, then UW, then they get a week off, they go Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Purdue. Those are nice, but then you close out with 2 tough games for them against Illinois and Nebraska. Like can they find a way to keep it to 2 losses? I doubt it, right? I doubt it.
Yeah.
Michigan, Michigan, I mean, they've got Oklahoma in week 2. They turn around and they got to play Iowa in week 4. Then they've got Penn State in week 7, followed by Indiana, right?
Mm.
Then they've got man, Michigan got
That's
it's tough.
woo. Yeah, they got
They've
that.
got Oregon, UCLA, and then of course the game to end it off, you know, with Ohio State. So Michigan's got a tough road to hoe. And I would tell you that if Michigan gets to 9-3, you got to put them in.
Well,
But
this.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
Nah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, you got a whole new staff there, man. But that's a tough schedule for a first coach, man. First time, head coach. That's a tough
Listen,
schedule.
I would agree with this too as an Oklahoma guy. I mean, I would love to see the Bedlam game return. I don't. I first off, I don't know that Oklahoma State is. I mean, we've heard the new coach saying that he wants to play it again. I think that Oklahoma's always wanted to play it, and they would rather play that than play a lot of these other like cupcakey games. I know that for a fact, right? But that being said, what up, Crow? Thank you, man. Love you too, brother. $10 super chat from Crow. Appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate it, man.
Um, 8 or 9 wins, missed the playoff for Michigan. Hard schedule. It's a tough schedule, bro. It's a
Yeah,
tough schedule.
yeah, 9 wins would be a good year for them. Now, it's hard to
It
say,
would be.
man. Michigan, it's hard to say. I mean,
I think Ohio State has it too. I mean, they got Texas, Illinois, then they got Kent State, then it's Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, then they've got Indiana in week 7, followed by you got a, a bye in between, but then they got SC on the road. And then in
yeah,
Iowa, and actually Indiana and SC are both on the road. And then after SC, they've got Oregon at home. So I mean, they theoretically you could come into that game. You're going to come into the game with probably at least 2 losses if you're Ohio State. I know everybody thinks they're the best team in the country, but I don't know. I'm
nah,
not sure why.
bro. I'm gonna tell you, this thing has really, I don't know, man. It's a hard pill to swallow, Jason. And the reason why, for me, it's a hard pill to swallow because I'm looking at teams that I know for a fact do not need this ninth game, bro.
Yeah.
They do not need this ninth game.
Well, yeah.
And, I
Let me
mean,
find this SEC schedule here.
Vanderbilt do not need this ninth game. Mississippi State do not need this ninth
Well, what
game,
about?
bro.
Well, hold on. And you know what? We should bring it up because look at, you know what? We did that deal on. We were talking about Ole Miss, and we did that on, when we did their team profile. brother.
Right.
The team profile for I mean that Ole Miss schedule is brutal, and it's not considered the top the hardest one.
But it's in the SEC, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, and I hate to go off on basketball, but Ole Miss girls lost tonight to I want to say Kentucky, and
Mm-hmm.
at the press conference, this is the first time I never seen Coach Yo really upset, and she was talking about 11 teams in the top 25 are SEC teams. She said, "Why do we even play a tournament?" That's how competitive this whole league is. Period, top to bottom. And in
Mm-hmm.
this football, I feel the same way she feels. Like this whole thing is so competitive. Why would you want to add more to your schedule? Why?
Yeah.
If it's not for money, you tell me why. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get 5 teams in again with it being a 12. You got to have common sense to know that. Did they dupe Greg Sankey into thinking it was going to go add 4 more teams, and he went for the okie doke? Because that's what it seems like to me. Because why would you put your teams in harm's way is pretty much what I feel like he's doing.
I agree.
You putting your teams in harm's way by this ninth game. Now you said strength of schedule, but bro, is it really? Do you trust the committee to do right, Jason?
Well, that okay. So there you go. There's the major question that you have to ask yourself. Cancel. There's the there's the major question that you need to ask yourself. Do you trust the committee? And are they going to? Is this going to cause them? Look, I think that what you see this year, this is going to be a pivotal year for both the Big Ten and the SEC. And I'm going to tell you why. Because again, I just showed you that schedule. Now let me pull up this other one. Um, hold on. Oh damn it. What I would tell you is if you think about this, they're going to probably have to go away from those conference schedules like we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to. So let me pull up this other one that I just brought in just a second. Uh, here we go. I don't know if it'll let me do that. Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now let's go.
Trying to put it up.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. So just look at, I mean, you can look at whatever schedules you want to look at, but oh, shit.
If I was like if I was these GMs and ADs, I just wonder you know how much of impact did the GMs and the ADs and everybody have on
Oh,
this. I just wonder. I don't know.
I don't either. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna have to fix this. Now it's all screwy. Here we go. Okay.
Yep.
So, well, and I think they thought they were going to 16, and I think that at some point you have to now think about this. So we talked about this a little bit before of you know BYU and they were one of the ones screaming, but I got to tell you, if they think that if you're gonna get 2 teams in from the Big 12 or the SC
Nah.
or the ACC for that matter, any year it was should have been last year when you had an 11-1 record going into the conference title game. There
Yep.
should have if you weren't going to be and they were not slated in it even before that last weekend conference championship weekend. And
Nope.
then, so they weren't going to get in. There was no two ways around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at 12 games, I think it makes it harder, but here's the deal. I think that this is going to force the hand of the Big 12 and ACC to where they got to say, look, we need to take that 4-4-2-2 deal because that way we're always going to get 2 in. Because again, you can sit there and say it should be this way or blah 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 blah, but the Big Ten and the SEC don't have to care what they think. They don't. They're in
Nope.
control.
Nope.
They're in control. But taking a look, I mean, we were talking about the Ole Miss schedule. Look, just their SEC schedule: LSU, obviously the Mississippi State game, at Oklahoma, Auburn, Georgia, Mizzou, at Florida, at Vandy, and at Texas.
Mm.
That's freaking brutal. If you know, I don't know how great Florida will be. I think they're going to be a lot better than
They're
people
gonna be
think.
a lot better. John
Right?
Summerall, they'll be a lot better.
Absolutely. Look at LSU though, but look at LSU. A&M, they open their conference schedule with A&M. They're at Arkansas, at Ole Miss, Bama, Mississippi State, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. That's all the good teams aside from Oklahoma.
Yeah, they got to hit the road the last 3 games.
Yep. Yep. And then Georgia, Auburn, obviously they got the Florida game, South Carolina, at South Carolina, Mizzou, Vandy, Oklahoma, at Bama, at Arkansas, at Ole Miss. That's tough too.
Mm.
I mean, and that last one, that at Ole Miss, I mean that Ole Miss and Georgia, you know, that's the last conference schedule. Or well, I guess it's not necessarily the last one. They're not showing it as the weeks that they are. That may not be right. This was the
Yes.
early
Yeah,
one when they just
yeah.
revealed who they're going to play.
That's just 8 games right there, right?
Right. But again, I mean, we can go in and get the actual how it goes. But I mean, listen,
But still,
if you,
that's still they play them late in the season. So yeah, I do know that. It's like yeah.
okay, so Bama, Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, A&M, Kentucky, LSU, Vandy.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, man.
I mean, and the teams that you don't expect much of it, they got it. They don't have it easy. Look at Mississippi State, Bama, Vandy, Ole Miss, Auburn, Mizzou, Oklahoma, LSU, at South Carolina, at Texas.
brutal.
Brutal, brutal.
That's that's a hard ass schedule, bro.
Yes.
Bama, Vandy, Ole Miss, Auburn, Missouri,
For
Oklahoma,
real though,
LSU, South Carolina, and Texas. Got to be one of the hardest schedules in the SEC.
nuts, right? It's freaking nuts.
And
I
and,
mean,
and
come
you
on, man.
take and see that perfect example. Let's let's
Mhm.
let's go to Mississippi State, man. I think they're gonna play Minnesota early on in the year, and that's a team that there's a Big Ten team. But bro, just take Mississippi State, man. A team that's you know they had some good moments last year. And if they have a defense this year, it's even better. But
Oh no.
you add one more
Are you
bullet to the
shitting
gun.
me?
What are you doing, man? You just adding one more bullet to the gun when you add another team like that, man. So that's crazy. What you can't click back over? We're having a few technical difficulties at the moment. Just y'all hang with us for a second. I think Jason has got where his um, stream might be a little stuck. We're gonna look at it here. Yeah. See Jimmy. What's going on, Jimmy?
Yo, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now, man. Like you were
Okay, now,
stuck.
now it's got me in the damn headphones. Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that. No, it
No,
it
man.
unplugged on accident.
I thought you were stuck on the screen or something, bro.
No.
Oh, okay, it's all good. But
Okay.
I was just
Now
talking
Shotty's
about.
saying he's playing chess. We go into 16 games. We'll get more teams with strength of schedule. I don't know that I agree with that, bro. I think non-conference games in the SEC is like the Hammer said, suicide.
Suicide. It's suicide.
And then, if you're going to, and if you look, at what point does the SEC title game becomes, it's not good for you anymore?
It's not good at all. Look at Alabama last year.
Because now you've gone to 9. Now you get to play a 10th game for the conference title. Shit.
Nah, bro, you don't want that. You don't want that. I mean, the Big Ten as well. I mean, they should get rid of these conference championships. You ended up with 16 games to win a natty with a conference championship, bro. It's too much.
Yeah.
Just too much.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you guys, this stuff about Trinidad Chambliss, y'all need to knock that shit off. I'm gonna tell you now, that's a bullshit. That's crazy stuff to say. Okay.
What did they say? I didn't.
Talking about that he's a bum and he needs to get a job. No. The guy was sick for 3 years, bro. All he did was his fight. Unlike some of these other dudes, Trinidad Chambliss's fight was for them to follow their own rules.
And it was legit. You know, a lot of people thinking, okay, it was legit. The guy didn't even suit up in 2022. And a lot of you guys out here don't know that. All you thinking, oh, he just won another year. Ferris State was trying to get him another year. So it's just a big coincidence that the kid turned out to be really, really good.
Yeah. No, and Ferris State messed it up in the beginning. But the truth is, here's the facts though on it. Again, that ruling is there. In fact, you know what, guys? Make sure that you check out my column. It's on Hall of Fame Media, hofmedia.us. You can go in there and check out what I had to say about it. And I'm going to tell you this much: when it comes to what happened in that whole deal, here, I'll come back to this.
Yeah, go back.
When it comes to what happened with Trinidad Chambliss and all that, the NCAA basically they had no expert witnesses on the medical stuff. There was 91 pages. The narrative that is out there is just a narrative that was thrown out there because he didn't touch the field in 2022. Mm-mm. And he had battled mono, COVID, and it was chronic tonsillitis that kept coming back over and over again. He didn't touch the field in 2022. They were trying to make arguments about 2023 and 2024 and all this other crap. They literally had nothing to argue. They put up such a good case that they left before the judge even rendered his decision, and he made them in contempt of court.
Yep.
It's wild talk. It's wild, bro.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. You got a lot of guys out there getting 8, 7.
Imagine being sidelined by tonsillitis. He was sick as a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Sick as a dog. I know you're busting chops, Benji, but I'm just saying.
But bro, look,
don't be on the wrong side of things when it comes to the NCAA assholes. Sorry.
But here's the thing.
Sorry.
I know people who have had serious tonsillitis issues. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not nothing to laugh at. Some people don't have any problem.
What I would tell you is Owen Heineke. Look, I'll tell you this: Owen Heineke would get it. They would immediately have to give it to him. There's no way a judge wouldn't give it to him. No way.
But he didn't seek a judge though, bro.
He's not seeking one, I don't think.
Because he felt like he got a high enough grade.
He's not old. He just turned 23, bro. This is year 6 for him. He ain't playing for 6 year 8, year 9 like some of these other cats.
He was 22 when he started. Oklahoma had 2 guys that was almost 26. They didn't even know it. Mm-hmm. So, man, come on. Get off the guy, man. The kid, 23 years old, bro, and will be 23 when the season is over with next year. Yeah. So, you know.
It is, and you know what it is, what it is. I mean, I'm saying, look, I came into the thing hearing exactly what everybody else was hearing, that it was because he got beat out for the job and stuff like that. That had nothing to do with it. He didn't hit the field.
He didn't hit the field, bro. And then he developed sleep apnea with it as well.
Yep. And so all that stuff added up to he wasn't in shape to play college sports, especially this college sport, you know. whenever you're losing weight and you can't swallow and all that stuff. And they tried to fight it off and not have to do the surgery. He ended up having to have the surgery after the 2024 season because it was starting to come back because they went deep in the playoff and won the championship. He was worn out.
Yep.
So
And
even though
it affects
medicine was
people
kind of
different,
helping
man.
him for 23 and most of 24, at the end of the day, he ended up having to get it done. It was like, I mean, it's messed up. It's messed up the whole way.
Well, the NCAA didn't have enough proof.
Now,
All they
see, if
had,
this
they
is
didn't have
going
enough
on,
proof.
if they hired a lawyer, he's going to be back at Oklahoma. I'll just say it. And I don't know when we're going to hear about Aguilar. Believe me, that's the difference. Is like he's asking for a new rule, or he's asking for them to make a rule that's been there, a bylaw, not happen. That's what him and Diego did, right? And I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm saying if you want to argue about somebody, it should be guys like that are trying to change rules by going to court. This guy was trying to have them enforce their own rules. That's all
That's
the
right.
Chambliss was doing.
Mhm.
And it was, and look, I'll just be real. I think that it's pretty stupid when a rural court in Mississippi or these state courts have to interpret and figure out the NCAA's eligibility rules. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. The facts were laid out. A lot of people think just because it was in Mississippi, there was a kangaroo court type thing, but that was you was there from start to finish. You covered the whole thing, and you didn't have a you
Oh man,
came
I
there
was there all
none
day,
lights.
all day.
You was there all day, and you saw exactly what the NCAA puts out, what kind of product they put out. It's not good.
Listen, I mean, they, like I said, they didn't. Chambliss's attorneys had an expert witness in the medical field to interpret going through. I mean, they literally, the NCAA literally lied about not having documentation that sufficed. There was 91 pages of treatment that they had done and everything they were trying to do, and they had a doctor that said, "Look." And he was the ear, nose, and throat guy. And he said, "Look, I understand exactly what he's doing here and why you don't want to do surgery unless it's like your last deal." Part of it for him was like, "Look, you have your tonsils taken out. You're going to miss 3 or 4 weeks of school. Forget about football. You're going to miss 3 or 4 weeks of school. It's very hard to pass college courses when you're not in class."
And here's the thing, Jason. A lot
And
of
on top of that, you
people
know,
didn't understand that it wasn't about a national championship at the time when they made this decision. It was about a kid being at a D2 school just not missing class.
mhm.
I hate to get crazy off on that subject, but
No, I mean, and the
yeah.
bottom line is look, here's the deal. There's a lot of things that could be fixed in college football if they decide to let them collectively bargain for the rules. I mean, look, you you can't go through this and make all these rules and not expect them to go against it when they've never had any opportunity. And they don't make any of the rules. They don't.
Mm-mm.
So all
The
this stuff
kids don't
about
make
the
the
portal
rules.
and everything else, we talk about the portal all the time and we complain about them jumping in the portal, or we complain about how much money they're making or whatever the hell. But the truth is the rules are all controlled by the NCAA, the conferences, the schools, and the coaches. And 9 times out of 10, the coaches are asking them to go into the portal too.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
and that's
so
what. And
that's
so
I'm not even
Jason,
against Aguilar, and I wasn't against Diego either. I wasn't.
but Jason, let's do this right here. Give me a second. What you're talking about with these two young men really goes back to our whole topic. This conference is so damn tough, Jason, that when would you think at any point in time that you will be doing what you're doing right now to get a kid eligible? It's tough. You want to win. Everybody wants to win, bro. And adding another game to this whole thing is just going to make more people try to cut corners to keep more kids eligible, to bring in more kids, because at the end of the day, guys, these guys' jobs are on the line. Period. The job's on the line. So I think, I disagree with those Shorty. Normally, me and Shorty, we agree on a whole lot of stuff, man. But Shorty, I disagree with you on this one,
What do you
homeboy.
say?
He had said something earlier about it, and I just think, man, I think it's a step going backwards. The only way I would agree with the 9 games if the SEC had a written in stone say we get 4 teams in the playoffs. Now, if he had that, now you make more money.
But they're not going to do that at a 12 team. And look, they're fighting. They're at odds for whatever reason between the Big Ten and the SEC, and that's the biggest reason they didn't go to 16 this year.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen anytime real. I mean, it may not happen next year. Who knows? They're still at odds over this stuff, and so for the time being, here. I mean, look, and I'm not saying, look, if it stays at 12, I don't really care. What up, Monty? My guy.
Who was this? JW.
Krusty.
Yeah, Krusty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you full of. Go.
Yeah, he a Texas fan, just trashing everybody. He's talking about Mississippi.
All he got to do is go read the doggone.
I mean, it's all out there. The opinions out there. The dude. I'll tell you this much: if you think that this judge was full of it, he covered every base. He read all 37 pages of his opinion. All 37. You know how long that took?
An hour.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Because I called you guys and y'all was still in the courtroom.
It was brutal, man. It was brutal. But
yeah, it was crazy.
But he wanted to make sure that why he was making this decision, he wanted everybody to know.
Yeah, he did.
He wanted everybody to know. Couldn't the NCAA go to the Supreme Court, ask them to overrule the state judge? Yeah, they could.
Yeah, they could.
You know why they're not going to do that? Because here's what's happening. Here's what's really happening. They didn't put up enough of a fight to go to the Supreme Court, number one. You have to put up a fight, and they didn't do that. They didn't prove the case, and you can't appeal it on something that you're not already arguing it on.
They left before it was
done. The other thing is what they want. Yeah, they left before the damn proceeding was even. They didn't even listen for it. That's how much they cared about it. But I'm going to tell you why that is. Because they're trying to get the SCORE Act passed. And they think that the only way to do it, they just keep on losing in court and looking inept. That's how they feel like they're going to do it. And again, go read the column. I'm telling you, go read the column because that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. It is 100%.
That's what 100%. It's about. It's absolutely. So it's, it is what it is, man. I'll just say.
The NCAA wants help. I think, I don't know if
they're under this impression that all the Congress is going to pass it and do everything that they wanted to do. They're not really all that close on the votes. They're really not. And you know why? Because a lot of congressmen are not willing to bend these kids over anymore. That's probably not a good way to put that.
But Jason,
you know what I'm saying?
How many of these congressmen come from some of these top universities, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it real.
Yep.
They're not gonna get into that. That's their money. That's their constituents. They're not gonna get into that.
I don't know that Chambliss was. Here's the deal: Chambliss could have gone to the NFL. He chose to come back, but guys, again, medical red shirts happen all the time, guys. All the time.
Yeah,
that's all he would have had it. He would have already had it.
Yeah.
Ferris State, he was under the impression that Ferris State had already put in all that paperwork to get it done before. They even talked about it on the national championship game in 24 that 22 was a medical red shirt because of how sick he was. That was an NCAA televising thing.
Yeah. And
they put it on themselves, that Division II game.
And see, that's what people don't look at. All they looking at is what's going on now. But I do notice, like, when you come to the end of your career playing, you have to have all your medical stuff in order.
Yeah.
Same way we did with Isaiah, so you can apply at the end. You can't apply now, but you can apply. You can have everything ready to apply for your medical red shirt.
Right, and here's the thing, here's what they argued, though, and it's, again, I don't wanna give my whole column away, but I'll say this, they kept arguing incapacitation, you gotta be incapacitated to get the red shirt. That's not that has nothing to do with what their laws say. Their bylaws
Correct.
say that you can't play 30% of the season, you had to the sickness or whatever the injury was, had to have happened in the first half of the year. It did all
Correct.
these things, and all of it checks, and you have to have medical documentation. He had all those things.
Had
He
every
had all
bit
those
of it.
things.
Had every bit of it.
There was nothing that there was. I mean, literally, this is not you. I mean, if we're gonna complain about any athlete that's getting extra time or
Only
whatever,
1%
it should not be Trinidad Chambliss. It should not be. He's not asking them to change. He didn't ask them to change a rule. He asked them to go by their own rules, and they didn't want to do it.
Nope. And that's the thing about it is there was
They
not
didn't
a
set
rule
any new
change.
precedents in this ruling. None of that stuff.
That's right. Was not a rule change. It was not a rule change. Yep. So
He threw away money, though. Did he throw away money? How do you know? I think he's getting paid a pretty hefty sum to go back to Ole Miss.
about $3 million.
Well,
So I don't call that throwing away money.
are we ever going to discuss the Georgia president saying the SEC might play a 12-game schedule and an all SEC postseason? He said it twice. Wouldn't ESPN shut this down if ESPN doesn't want it?
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of rhetoric that goes on in college football from both sides. I have not heard that from anybody who makes decisions.
That's my first time
hearing
that.
If he's the school president, he makes some decisions.
Yeah, my first time hearing that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that.
What's terrible? What's terrible, Crunch? He'll get a better draft spot for coming back too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he throws away money. I think he adds money. With the fan take, UJ president with a fan take there. Look, I'll tell you this. There's a lot of SEC fans that would be just fine with all that shit.
Bro. The SEC fans,
could care less about anybody else, man.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of them are like that. Now, I would tell you that Texas and Oklahoma, not as much. They want to win the Natty against whoever the other team, whoever it is.
Yeah. But I think money had more to do with it than what's being put out there. I'm just being honest with you. I think the money from ESPN, the commercials, the money that the schools are going to make off of going to 9 games.
An extra $10 million per school to play that 9th game. So I mean, what does that mean that ESPN's got to be making? That means that's $160 million to the schools, which means they're at least double that on what they make.
And Jason, I remember 3 years ago, your NILs, I mean, your roster was about between 10 and 15 million. Now it's 40 million.
Well, between that and rev share, for sure.
Right.
That's half of your rev share right now. That's a half of your rev share.
So you think you add another 10 mil to the bucket? Y'all, come on, man. Hey.
Benji talking smack, bro. That's what Benji does.
What Benji say?
He said, right on, us Texas and OU fans are not with that. We will play anyone. The SEC fans live in a fog of the past instead of confronting the reality of the present. Oh, Hoosier Dave. I love Hoosier Dave. He's been one of my favorite guys coming in here. The Indiana fans pounding that chest. They deserve to do it. They won the Natty. I give them. You can do it.
Oh yeah.
Please continue. Let's see if you do it again, though, big guy.
They got a bullseye on them, bro. I can tell you that much.
How is it when you're the hunted? How is it when you're the hunted? Little different.
Sir. It's gonna be a whole lot different.
Yeah,
Be a whole
a
lot
lot of
different.
schools not in the SEC and the Big Ten are running a deficit now. Oklahoma isn't. The SEC teams are not, and the Big Ten teams aren't either. Now, I would tell you that there's some ACC programs and Big 12 programs that are having to go to, like, when you have to start, getting outside funding, you know, I don't know.
I don't think that's good for any school to go get outside funding.
Might not be us, but it sure as hell ain't gonna be you. Who? As in who? Who's you?
Who is
Who you
that?
talking about? Who you talking about? I have a feeling the SEC is gonna snatch one this year.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that they are. I got Georgia winning it actually.
Yeah, that's me.
But,
Well, I'm gonna be well. I know you ain't gonna hear it.
although then again, we just
Hey,
saw. I mean, like I said, that schedule is brutal. Let's go back
dude.
to that. And I don't want to talk about the Chambliss thing anymore. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
Go read the column, guys. Go read it.
yeah. But you stack. Man, I just don't know.
I'll send them the link.
I just got a thing that some inside of me telling me all the schools say, "Hey, look, we can get an extra 10 mil a piece. Let's go ahead
Yeah.
on and do it."
Oh,
Something
sure.
is telling me in my gut that that's pretty much what happened.
Mhm.
10 mil a piece, bro. $10 million, Jason. $10 million.
10 mil a piece. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and those schools are looking okay. We
A
can
lot of frog skins.
what can we do with an extra 10 mil? So what? We don't get 5 teams in, but
Mhm.
everybody get an extra 10. Is it
Well,
worth? Is it worth it?
okay. Okay. So that's the question. If you're not going to get 5, that's cool. But what is the Big Ten going to end up with?
They
I
won't
think
get
as long
5.
as you're not seeing there's a gap between the two of them, then it's going to be what it is. But
The
that
Big
means that
Ten.
they're going to end up screwing the other guys. I don't know that maybe Shawty's right. Maybe Shawty's right. That's why I wanted him on here, and he wouldn't come on. But he could have come in here and run his mouth and told us why he was saying what he was saying,
And then dip.
and then dipped. Yeah, he's out. Dog.
Doggone shorty.
Sorry, dog.
Doggone
And
shut
look,
it
at the end of
low.
the day, I understand.
Yeah,
But I think that is it
it's
about
about
inventory or is it about competition? I don't know.
it's about it's about inventory. If you want my opinion,
If we start seeing more 9-3 SEC teams, does the committee reward them though? Because if it's just ammo for the rest of the country, then you did the wrong thing.
well, Jason, let me ask you this: if if the SEC go from having 5 to having 4, and everybody gets $10 million, is that a win for the SEC?
If they get 4, then they're going to get 4 at the Big Ten also, almost
But
definitely.
I'm asking you, is that a win for the SEC?
Yes,
Well, at the end of the day, then
because with 9 extra, I mean, half the conference has to lose another game. Half the conference. Somewhere in that half of losers of that 9th game is going to be some teams that are vying for the playoff. It's got to happen.
yeah, I can see some bubble teams losing out
Sure.
on that deal.
Well, and
But
not
is
all.
it?
I mean,
But
look.
is it?
Let's
But
see.
is
I mean,
it?
like
But is it
Alabama.
worth losing
Alabama. If
one
you think
team?
they're on the bubble, they've got Auburn in the last game.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
A&M in
Jason,
Texas. A&M in Texas. One of them is going to be a bubble team.
I think A&M just do not do what they did last year.
I don't
I
think
just
they're. I
don't.
don't trust Marcel Reed at all.
I don't. I don't. I don't.
I don't trust Marcel Reed at all. I think I think the dude is. Sorry, but I think the dude is a liability.
I'm.
And with Klein gone now, they got the new OC.
Dude, okay. I'm telling you this. I'm gonna tell you teams I think it could hurt. I think the 9 game schedule it can hurt a lot of teams, but I think it hurt a team like Vanderbilt, who I think still could be really good. I think it hurt a team like Oklahoma, who offense still hadn't showed up to the party yet. If the defense do what they did last year and the offense stay right around where they were last year, then it hurts them because they could actually easily lose a game with not having the offense they have. It can hurt a team, um, let's say a Florida team, who I think is going to be really good, although it's John Summerall's first year. They're
Oh, they're
just
going
an
to be
extra.
good.
They're going to be
They got
good.
their 5 main players back.
Yeah. So it could hurt some teams that
You got Jaden Ball
could
coming
make the
back. People
playoff.
aren't talking enough about that kid. He's a stud.
Oh yeah, he good ball player. Good ball player.
They got their best defender coming back. I mean, their
I think
offensive line.
did
I
they
mean, I
lose the
think they're gonna be good.
receiver?
Huh?
They didn't lose one
They
of the
lost those receivers, but they got some guys coming in too. They got Singleton, from Georgia Tech. I mean, and he was at his best when he was at Georgia Tech under Buster Faulkner. They've got a nice squad. I mean, it's all dependent on what does their quarterback end up doing. If he's good, but he's been in Faulkner's system, so he knows it.
Yep. Yeah, I just think, as OJ's would say, for the love of money.
And you're talking, Scooby asked me if I trust, Marcel or Mateer more. Yeah, it's about the same. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. And I think they are pretty similar.
They are. Pretty similar.
I hope our 9th conference game hurts A&M and TU. Yeah, it's going to hurt one of them. It's got to hurt one of them, Big Lubbock. Got to hurt one of them. One of them's got to lose.
Man, I just think overall, behind closed doors, Jason, they all got together and say, hey, look, we're going to take the money. But don't tell nobody. But we're going to take the money.
Well, if you assume that you figure, okay, one of those teams at Texas or Texas A&M, one of them is in the top half of the league for sure. And both of them are probably in the top half. Because they are, look, you guys, Mike Elko's a good coach. They're going to be okay. I don't think they're as good as as they were this year. But I think they're going to be at least in the top half. So that hurts one of those top half teams in that 9th game, right? And who's to say what happened for the rest of it? Reed does a rattler too much. I'll take a Mateer more. He at least doesn't come over at the end. You should see yourself out now, rhyming. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous talk. He just does it, when you're up 17-0. What are we talking about?
Oh, rhyming.
Really? No? Are you guys kidding me? We only got 15 likes on here? Come on, fellas.
Man, that's crazy. Come on, man. Hit the like button.
We're talking. Come on, people.
Hit the like button, bro.
Give us some love here.
And Jason, like I said, man, I think, I'm not going to say the AD sold out, but I think they took the money and ran, bro. That's the only way I can see.
The SEC.
Everybody's cool. Yeah, I think the SEC took the money and ran.
I don't know, Marcus. I feel like, I think you took the money, but I think that they waited until they got the assurances about the strength of schedule. So I think we're gonna have to wait and see.
I just don't trust
I will say this: I'm less concerned looking at now that we're sitting there looking at that Big Ten schedule from top to bottom. You have to say, look, it's not as bad as it could have been, right?
Right. Yeah.
So,
and, here's the thing. Everybody else, they went on there and did the Oprah deal. Hey, you get 10 million. You get 10 million. You get 10 million. Man, they don't care. I just think they came to a point, Jason, where they said, hey, look, this money can help our programs a lot more than us just getting one more team in the playoffs.
Fair. I think it's a fair thing to say. I'm telling you that I don't think it was just a money thing.
No. I'm not
they
saying
weren't going
to
to do it without the extra money, though, and that was the other thing. At first, ESPN didn't want to pay.
They knew they was gonna make enough money off of it.
Well,
Just,
you think we're gonna play and that we're gonna give you more content and you're not gonna give us more money? Come on, bro.
man, you think about the advertising money and
Yeah.
just, oh man, it's bro. I don't even want to talk about
Listen,
it. It's
an
a lot of
extra
money.
SEC game is extra millions of eyes, millions and
Yes.
millions of eyes.
Yes.
They're the highest rated games, aside from the biggest, like the game from Ohio State to Michigan, some of the crossovers, things like that. The highest rated games are in the SEC. That's a fact, by and large.
Oh, we got
I
somebody
hope
said
I
Mississippi
hope
State
that
has to
nine
cancel
conference
their
game
home
hurts
game
Texas.
against Texas 2027 and 2028. Texas Tech is trying to replace them with USC.
Yeah,
Haven't heard that.
listen, man. This Texas Tech stuff, brother. Mississippi State has canceled their home and home with Tech in 2027 and 28. Texas Tech trying to replace USC.
Trying to place it with USC.
Oh, trying to replace it with USC? That's not
Yes.
going to happen. Tech's trying to replace it with USC. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
do that. Why would he do that? So he could get beat by his alma mater and look bad at USC? No. They're not going to do that. Good luck. Good
That's
luck,
not
big
gonna
brother.
happen, bro.
You're talking about Lincoln Riley, bruh. You talking about Lincoln Riley. What are we talking about?
To my Lincoln, I'm not gonna take any chances, Riley.
Yeah. They should have been playing 9 games years ago. I get you, Marshall. I think they should have waited until they went to a 16-game playoff myself. But I don't have a problem with listen, we've all said this in the past, and I'm good. The one thing I like about it is that these rivalries are going nowhere now.
Mm-hmm.
They're going nowhere.
Well, they helped your rivalries when you went to 9.
That's right.
It did. I mean, you got
Because
teams like
you get your 3 protected rivals every year, and that matters. That matters. It matters in this league for sure.
Let me ask you this, Jason. So I don't know if you can look this up. Ole Miss has Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and who else? Because you know that LSU deal with them is a monster right now. That's a money game. And that's been a money game for a while. I don't understand how Oklahoma came one of Ole Miss's 3 games that they were going to play. I don't understand that.
Yeah. What I am surprised about is this one: 9 SEC games per season has the benefit of making a more clear top 2 for the championship game. I'm telling you, I think it's probably going to go away.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. What I will say is this, and here's where we can go ahead and finish it. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. This is what I feel like there's going to be some results of this that's going to happen. Number one, we already know that the SEC doesn't like the committee stuff. They don't like it because they can interpret, they want it to be a cut and dried set of, strength of schedule, strength of record, and so that because they play the best teams. And in the committee, we're talking about people that have biases and are swayed by people screaming at them. They don't like that. I think that, and I've said this a bunch of times, if you go to 16 and you go to that 4-4-2-2 model, then guarantee those spots, all this goes away, because then you don't have to worry about a conference title game anymore. You can pick your conference champion if you're the SEC and Big Ten by who wins the conference championship outright, just by, throughout the year. Maybe there's the tiebreaker some years, but it's going to be rare that happens. In the end, those teams are already automatically in. No committee needed to tell you that. They're already in. And then you can play 2 games instead of 1 for the conference championship game, which is more money. And it matters. The games matter a hell of a lot more because they're not, one of those teams in each game isn't going to make it. That's more good football. And,
I agree with that.
To be quite honest with you, the ACC and the Big Ten do the same. You can name your conference champion, and then you got one more spot. Play 2 against 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's the way I see it. It should go down.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about 24 teams and all that stuff. I am so dead against that. I don't. We're gonna skip 16 and go straight to 24. No, I'm not in. But
How
a
many
lot of people
How
are.
many teams are in the FCS playoff?
16, I think.
Is it 16?
Better for people buying tickets. Yeah, listen, season tickets. Is that what you're talking about, Dave?
Is it better for people buying season tickets too? No.
Yeah, because you get more games, more home games.
Yeah, but they just gonna raise it up. You're not gonna
paying full price for four of the seven or 8 home games versus teams that aren't real. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I see what he's saying now.
Yeah, I get what he's talking about. And I mean, if you're a season ticket holder, that does matter.
Yeah, that does matter. But all they're gonna do is okay. We're playing 9 SEC games, and you're getting this extra game. They're just gonna jack the price up on you. So it's gonna happen. Never knew it was called Magnolia Bowl. What is he talking about?
Which one's the Magnolia Bowl? Is that LSU Ole Miss?
Yeah, I guess that's what he's talking about.
I'd love to see the Bedlam rivalry back. I'm with you there.
I think that's something that is. I think within the next 2 years.
Okay.
I think within the next 2 years you'll see that Oklahoma rivalry back. I think you'll see it.
I didn't say they weren't going to raise the price, but at least if you're paying that number, you're paying for guaranteed 4 out of the 8 games. You'll get 4 whether you have like Oklahoma. When you talk Oklahoma season ticket package, 1 year they only get 3 home games in conference because of the fact that they only had 8, and one's always going to be. It's always going to be at the neutral site at the Cotton Bowl.
Yep.
So now you're guaranteed to get 4 and sometimes 5 home games.
It's possible.
Every other year,
possible. So, but like I said, my final take on it, Jason, is I think that the ADs and the president said, if we just weigh everything that we have in front of us, let's take the $10 million.
I don't know that it was just about money. I think they're
I'm not saying it was all about money. I'm saying once they weighed everything, once they weighed, we might lose
the strength of schedule part. It was. I mean, they as soon as they agreed to the strength of schedule metric change is when they voted on it and approved it. That was the same week. So it was all about that. But in the end, we'll see. I mean, I think we're going to find out. We're going to find out how it goes. I feel better looking at the Big Ten schedule as well because they didn't protect themselves as much as they did last year. They did.
And the year before, they did not. They protected.
No, they didn't. I mean,
very well 2 years ago, but not now.
Man, if you look at Ohio State, that is I don't care how good you think they are. Texas, I don't know how good Illinois is going to be, but Indiana, SC, Oregon, Michigan. And I mean, Nebraska being what they are, I don't buy them really. Iowa's another team that they got. I mean, Iowa has a way of sneaking up on them from time to time. And they don't have look, they're good, but they don't have the same level of talent that they had last year on the D line or in that secondary. Caleb Downs, he gone.
Yeah. What is Ryman Livingston? What did you say on that last? Pull it up. I can barely see it.
Talking about the prices?
No, he says
he needs to shake this foolish hand in Stark Vegas this coming season. I'm for sure flying in.
Hey man, hit me up.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Hey, hit me up, bro. Hit me up.
Our game with SMU will be at Jerry World.
Oh, will it?
I didn't see that. When is that one? In 27, 28?
27.
Why is it going to be at Jerry World? Why do they keep agreeing to this shit? Go on the road to play Temple? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Got to be for the money somehow, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Got to be for the money, man. Hey.
All right.
But look,
you cut the whole ending there.
We're going to, I mean, and guys, spring is right around the corner, guys. It is right around the corner. Spring game, practices, all that stuff is right around the corner. So we're going to be bringing you guys a lot of content within the next month or so. We're going to get back on some of our schools. I think we're going to do OU and Mississippi State here in a couple days. So you guys look out for that. That's coming. We're going to talk a little about Coach Leb down in Star Vegas, and we're going to talk a little bit about OU. I know some of you guys want to talk about that offense a little bit more.
I don't. I'm done with that conversation right now. Hey, we got plenty of time to talk about that conversation. Dang, bro.
Oh, man.
Guys, hey, listen. Make sure you get over there and check out Ole Miss 365, man. There's a ton of really, really good content. I met some of their other content creators the other day, man. Dan the Don is my dude, man. That dude he's funny, man.
Oh,
and
yeah, man.
There's a lot of really good stuff. And look, I mean, there's some I don't know, be on the lookout for some changes to what I may be doing as well over the next year. So there's some possibilities there. But I'm loving doing the Gauntlet. We started up the first SEC Drive, the afternoon drive show that I was talking about. We will be back on tomorrow with Boganowski in the morning, but then the rest of the week on Wednesday and Friday, we're going to do evening shows. So between 3 and 4, we haven't really settled on the time yet, but it'll be between 3 and 4 Central to knock out. So look, and I want to do that one where, you guys call in, we do some different stuff. You decide what the conversation is about. The afternoon drive show, it could be something about newsy stuff that happened,
Definitely.
announcements, things like that. Be a part of the conversation, drive the conversation on the SEC Drive. I'll be excited about doing that.
No doubt, man. No doubt. I think it's gonna pop.
Look at Hall of Fame college football synergizing with the outsiders.
Oh, so everybody's out. We outsider now.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Benji.
What does it say? It says Hall of Fame college football.
It's Hall of Fame college football still.
College football.
But it's college football. And look,
that's a broad.
But that's the thing. We talk about everything on these shows, man. We talk about things that people don't want to talk about. We talk about the hard stuff, and we don't mind taking on these hard conversations. Because why? Because we want to have the conversations. I enjoy it.
Oh, seatbelt. Oh,
because things shit's funny now. They're on the other side. Shit ain't funny. Our office sucks. Listen,
seatbelt, bro.
And I'm gonna tell you, Lebby. Hey, how many of you Lebby haters would love to have him back in the chair?
Oh my goodness, bro.
That's too funny.
That seatbelt is
Kamario Taylor. I promise you, every OU fan would love to have him. Whoa.
Kamario, a special kid, man.
He's a special kid, man. He's gonna be fun. He's gonna be a lot of fun. Text number 1 says Big Lubbock. Until today, they got beat by Nebraska. Not Oklahoma, not Texas, Nebraska. That's tough.
Hey.
All right, man.
We're going to get out of here, man.
Yeah, appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure you hit that like button, share the stream, do all that stuff. Help us out.
Seatbelt, man.